Well, Ben, I can't give you which teams are going to get which players, but
Correct.
I can give you three players that I think will go, and Juan Soto is one of them. I do expect he's going to get traded. And my general feeling in situations like this is when there is this much talk, this much momentum, that it generally tends to happen. Imagine August 2nd, if 6 o'clock Eastern passes and there's no Soto trade. There's going to be a lot of deflation throughout the sport. And that's not a reason for the Nationals to do it. But it just seems to me that the fact they're dangling him at age 23 with the potential to cap him for three pennant races, yes, it's going to be an incredible return if they actually do it. But I expect because of the quality of the player, the future Hall of Fame quality of the player, that they're going to get something that really makes them say, okay, let's do it.
You think he is moving. This is unprecedented. This guy is 23 years old. He's the best hitter in the game. He's in categories with only Ted Williams up to this point in his career. And we're looking at a trade. I mean, what is a trade package going to look like for Juan Soto? How does that happen? He's got 2 years of control left before somebody's going to have to pay him $500 million. So how much are teams truly willing to give up of a farm system right now?
We're going to find out, Ben. And as I reported last weekend, what the Nationals have asked for is 5 to 6 top young players. I'm sorry, 4 to 5 top young players.
Mm-hmm.
I'm increasing the size of the package already. So it's 4 to 5 top young players. They don't have to be just prospects. Some can be young major leaguers with low service time, guys who have a ways to go before they become free agents. And that is where they stand. And yes, there are only a few teams that can do that. There are probably only a few teams that would take Soto the rest of his $17 million salary this season. And that salary is going up to, I don't know, 22 to 25 million next season. And then after that, even higher. So it is probably a limited market in some respects, but you can look at a low revenue team. And that team, if it has enough prospects, can say, you know what, we'll do this year. We'll see if we can get him. We can even pay him next year. You could probably afford Juan Soto. Any team could at 2022, 25 million for one season. And then you trade him again. That is a conceivable scenario, though I don't know that it is the one that will win the day. I do expect the team that gets him will be a team with money and the team that expects to keep him through the end of his control.
Unbelievable. So let's say, why didn't the Nationals, for instance, why aren't they paying him? They offer him that deal that on the surface looks good, $440 million, but you start looking at the AAV, he deserves more than that. Why aren't the Nationals willing to pay him what Juan Soto deserves to be paid?
Well, you can argue, first of all, Ben, that 440 million is a number that is worthy of Juan Soto. And while you're right, the AAV would have been the 20th highest in Major League history as it stands today. There have been deals like that before, including one for a Scott Boras client, Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper signed a $330 million deal as a free agent for 13 years.
Yeah.
Why? He wanted a big guarantee. He wanted to be above Stanton. He got above Stanton, but he didn't get the AAV he wanted. His AAV is $4 million below what the Nationals offered Soto. So I get it. And I also get perspective because they're thinking, well, we offered him almost $500 million.
True.
What's the problem here? So also, if you're the Nationals, that was their third offer. Third offer without receiving a counter. According to the Washington Post, there were no counters.
Wow.
So how much higher do you go? And is there a point where Scott Boras, who generally prefers his clients to establish their values on the open market, is there a point he would even take a deal at this stage of Juan Soto's
Yeah.
career? I'm not sure there is. Maybe, certainly every indication is that Scott Boras wants Soto to become a free agent. Soto wants to become a free agent. And he's starting now with a baseline of 440 million guaranteed.
Last one for you on Juan Soto. And Ken, I know you don't have a crystal ball. You don't know what's going to happen, but you're great at knowing what's going on behind the scenes. So you mentioned a few teams. Who are a few teams, as of right now, things change every second, but who are a few teams that are most in on Juan Soto right now?
I would say San Diego is a team to be reckoned with here. Now, the loss of Mackenzie Gore, who went on the IL Tuesday with an elbow problem, that is a blow because he likely would have been part of a package for Soto or could have been part of a package for another player. So that hurts them. It hurts their depth. But there is a desire there. We've seen AJ Preller do this before. He is excellent at getting the players he wants. Not so excellent always at building a team around these guys, but he is someone who is fearless. He is someone who is willing, and this team has shown a willingness to spend money. So all of those things bode well in the Padres' favor, even with the loss of Gore. The Cardinals have been getting a lot of attention. And the Cardinals, because they have a terrific farm system with players that definitely would intrigue Washington, are, if they want to be, a factor. My question with them is they need two starting pitchers, Ben, not one. They need two.
Right.
And if you need two starting pitchers and you go get Juan Soto and you can't get, for instance, Luis Castillo, I don't know that they're going to do all of that. What kind of team do you have? You have a team that can score a lot, yes, but you don't have a rotation that can carry you through a playoff series. I mean, right now they're looking at Wainwright, Michaelis, and who knows if either one of those guys might fade as the season goes on. It's certainly possible. Dakota Hudson's had a physical issue. Matz is on the IL again. They are short on starting pitching. They've got Palante in the rotation. He's a guy who's going to have an innings limit. So from that perspective, I'm having a hard time seeing St. Louis, but the one thing I always say at this time of year is that things will happen that will make our heads turn, that will surprise us, even stun us. So nothing would surprise me. And then there are the usual suspects, the Yankees, the Dodgers, those kinds of teams who have great prospects in their organization and, of course, a lot of money as well. Those teams tend to be rational. They tend not to do things like this. So we'd have to see if they'd be willing. The Cardinals are another team. They don't necessarily do trades like this. Now, they made the Arenado trade, but they didn't give up much.
Yeah.
They made the Goldschmidt trade. And turns out they didn't give up that much for him either. So it's possible, but I don't see it. And then there are a group of other teams. Toronto would be one. Seattle would be another that could conceivably get into this mix.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.